I'm a 34-year-old Army sergeant on my third deployment to the Middle East. My wife, Sarah, 32F, and I have been married for 6 years. We met right after my first tour, and things moved quickly. She was beautiful, smart, and seemed to understand the military lifestyle. Her dad had served, so she knew what she was getting into, or so I thought. The deployment had been tough, but manageable. For months in, with 5 to go, we video called when possible, emailed daily. Things seemed fine, though looking back, I can see the signs. Her messages got shorter. Video calls became less frequent. She always had a reason: bad connection, busy with work, tired from her classes. I believed her. Then, 3 weeks ago, I woke up to an email. Not even a call. Mark, I can't do this anymore. I filed for divorce. Please don't try to contact me. I need space to figure out my life. I'm sorry it had to end this way. That was it. 6 years of marriage ended in 3 sentences. I tried calling immediately, straight to voicemail. Her parents wouldn't answer. Her friends blocked me on social media. It was like she'd vanished. I was in shock, couldn't focus on my duties. My CO noticed and gave me some space, but out here, you can't just take a mental health day. 2 days later, I checked our joint account to see if she'd used our credit card somewhere I could track, and found it empty. $23,467 gone. Our entire savings, including the money I'd been sending home from deployment. I spoke to JAG, but they said without being stateside, my options were limited. They helped me file emergency paperwork, but the damage was done. She'd planned this, waited until I was halfway across the world, unable to do anything. My buddy Derek let me use his phone to call my bank. They confirmed the withdrawals, multiple ATM transactions over a week, just under the daily limit each time. Calculated. Deliberate. I've since learned from our neighbor that she'd been seeing someone, a guy from her graduate program. They'd apparently been together for months. All those late study sessions, all those nights, she was too tired to video call. I was such an idiot. I'm writing this from my bunk at 0200. Can't sleep. Again, the guys in my unit have been solid, more family than my actual family right now. But I can't shake this hollow feeling. 9 years of military service, multiple deployments, and this is what I come home to. Tomorrow I meet with legal again to see what my options are. I've been told not to contact her directly. Advice I'm struggling to follow. How do you not demand answers from someone who just burned your life to the ground? First, I want to thank everyone for the support on my last post. I didn't expect thousands of replies. Reading your stories and advice has been one of the few things keeping me sane. The legal situation is a mess. I've been working with JAG and managed to get a power of attorney to my brother back home. He's now representing my interests while I'm stuck here. The good news, if you can call it that, is that we have a paper trail of Sarah emptying the account. The bank flagged the withdrawals as suspicious, but couldn't stop them without my authorization. My brother hired a civilian attorney who specializes in military divorces. They're documenting everything and building a case for financial fraud. Apparently, this kind of thing happens more often than you'd think to deployed service members. I finally heard from Sarah's parents. They called my brother, not me. According to them, Sarah told them I was abusive and controlling with money, which is why she had to take what was rightfully hers. Complete bullshit. I've never laid a hand on her or anyone else outside of combat. And I gave her full access to our finances, obviously, since she cleaned us out. What hurts most is how calculated this was. My buddy's wife ran into Sarah at the mall last week. She was with the guy from her program, shopping at high-end stores. They looked very comfortable together, according to my friend's wife. Sarah was wearing new jewelry, and they were carrying bags from designer stores. My money, my 6 years of deployments and overtime and sacrifice, funding her new life. Yesterday, I finally got official divorce papers through military channels. She's claiming irreconcilable differences and asking for alimony. The audacity is breathtaking. Her lawyer had the nerve to say the money she took was advance compensation for emotional distress from being a military spouse. My attorney says we can fight this, but it'll be ugly. I've started therapy through Military OneSource. The counselor says I'm experiencing symptoms of betrayal trauma on top of the stress of deployment. No shit. I can't sleep without medication now. My CO has been understanding, but I know this is affecting my performance. You can't be half present in a combat zone. Some days I'm just angry. Others, I catch myself wondering what I did wrong. Was I not attentive enough? Did the distance finally break us? Then I remember the calculated way she drained our account and disappeared, and I know this isn't on me. I've stopped trying to contact her directly. My lawyer advised against it, saying anything I say could be used against me. Her social media is suddenly full of posts about living her best life and finding herself. Yesterday, she changed her relationship status to in a relationship with a guy from her program. 6 years of marriage, and she's already Facebook official with someone else. The guys in my unit have been my lifeline. Last night, my squad took me out to the makeshift basketball court we have on base and ran drills until I couldn't think anymore. Physical exhaustion is the only thing that helps me sleep. 3 more months of deployment. Then I go home to an empty house and divorce proceedings. This isn't how I imagine my life at 34. But I'll survive this. I have to. I'm back on American soil. The last few months of deployment were a blur of paperwork, therapy sessions, and counting down days. Coming home to an empty house was surreal. No welcome home banner. No one waiting at the airport. Just my brother who picked me up and took me to what used to be our home. Sarah had taken most of the furniture. What remained looked like the aftermath of a hasty departure. Abandoned clothes, scattered papers, empty spaces where our life together used to be. The strangest part was finding small things still in place. Our wedding photos still on the mantle, my deployment gifts to her in a box in the closet, her grandmother's recipe book in the kitchen drawer. Like she couldn't decide which parts of our life to erase. The divorce proceedings have been brutal but illuminating. Her initial narrative of being the abandoned military wife fell apart quickly when our bank records were submitted to court. The judge was not amused by her emptying our account days before filing for divorce. Even her own attorney looked uncomfortable presenting her case. Then came the phone call I never expected. Sarah's mother contacted me directly, against her daughter's wishes. She apologized, voice cracking. Told me Sarah had been seeing this guy for over a year, not just months. Said she and Sarah's father were ashamed, but didn't know how to reach out to me. She revealed that Sarah had told the family I knew about the affair and had agreed to a divorce. Just another lie in a long series of them. 2 days after that call, I received a partial repayment to my account, $11,000. Half of what she took. No note, no explanation. My lawyer says it's a strategic move before the final hearing, trying to look cooperative. The final court date is next week. My lawyer is confident we'll avoid any alimony payments given the circumstances and might even get the remainder of our joint funds returned. Small victories. I've moved out of our house. Too many memories. Found an apartment near base with another sergeant who's going through a divorce too. It's not much, but it's a fresh start. I'm extending my service contract for another 2 years. The structure helps, and honestly, the military feels more like family now than ever. I ran into Sarah once, at a coffee shop near campus. She was alone, looked smaller somehow. She started to approach me, but I just walked out. Whatever explanation or justification she wanted to offer, I realized I don't need to hear it anymore. Nothing she could say would undo what happened or make it make sense. Yesterday, I received an email from her, the first direct communication since that divorce notice. I stared at it for an hour before opening it. Inside was a long, rambling apology. Not for the affair or the divorce, but for how she handled it. She wrote that she was overwhelmed and didn't know how to end things properly. Said she was sorry about the money but felt entitled to it after supporting my career for so many years. Classic non-apology. I didn't respond. I'm dating again. Nothing serious, just coffee with a physical therapist I met at the VA hospital. She's divorced too, understands the baggage. We're taking it slow. The nightmares are less frequent now. Some days I still catch myself replaying our marriage, looking for warning signs I missed. But most days, I'm just focused on rebuilding. New routines, new friends, new accounts with only my name on them. If there's anything I've learned from this nightmare, it's that you can survive things you never thought possible. And that the people who show up for you when everything falls apart, they're your real family. To everyone who's followed this journey, thank you. Your support helped me through the darkest moments. I may not have the life I planned, but I'm starting to build one I can live with. And someday, maybe even one I can love. I appreciate you watching till the end. Hit that subscribe button and stay tuned for more content.